Let's also get in a view from Terry Mcauliffe. He's Virginia Governor and he's visiting India for trade ties, not just India but Middle East as well. But as of now, he joins us on the show. Terry, hi, good to have you. First of all, let's talk about the ease of doing business. That really seems to be the mantra for all the international delegates who seem to be visiting here. What are the opportunities and challenges that you see in Indian market right now?
I think you always have challenges in business, obviously making sure that all markets are open. That's something that you deal with countries all over the globe. But I think with Prime Minister Modi, he clearly has set the tone that he wants increased trade. He wants to see it both sides in America. He's had successful meetings, productive meetings with President Obama. So I think the Prime Minister has sent a strong message to the United States of America that we want to increase trade, increase business capacity between the United States of America and in India. So I'm very hopeful. And as governor, that's why I'm here. I think it's important that you need to go to those markets that are growing. I think the potential for Virginia and for the United States of America is just tremendous. But it's important that you be here, that as I say, you put your flag down. I'm putting the flag of the Commonwealth of Virginia here because I realize that once you enter that India market and you stay, that the growth potential is tremendous. And I think it's also important to send a message that we want businesses to come back to Virginia. Huge opportunity, as I say, to access the United States market. And if you're coming to America, we're the best.
Terry, one important point of any trade really is the currency, and that has been very volatile recently on both sides. The US dollar index has been inching up, holding above 99, and that has put pressure on the major currencies as well as Asian currencies also. Where do you see the currency prices going ahead?
Well, listen, the dollar is strong today. I think for many nations around the globe, they look at the strength of the U.S. dollar. I would argue that's a very good for America because people who want to invest know that the strength of our currency is leading the way for that. And obviously, it gives us tremendous buying power to do it. But we want to make sure as we travel and do business with countries around the globe, we want to see their currencies obviously strong because it's important for the future investment. But a strong dollar today, I think, is confidence in our economy. The American market is very strong. We have created over the course of the last 8 years millions of new jobs. So we are very strong. Our economy is moving up. I would also, compliment the Indian economy, looking at 7+% growth. That's fantastic. I wish I could say we're going to have 7% growth in America, but we're past the Great Recession and now we're making progress.
You talked about the trading ties, and we've seen commodity prices decline quite sharply. The crude oil has impacted trade and freight and pretty much a lot of things around. What's your view on commodity prices and crude as well going ahead?
Well, in fact, I just left a meeting with Air India. Obviously, with the oil prices, the low level they are today, that is tremendously helping in the airline industry. It's helping our shipping business tremendously. So I would argue that with oil prices, what has really dramatically changed it in America is the explosion of natural gas, the tremendous finds that we have in natural gas. That has brought America's energy. Obviously now we are self-sufficient on our own energy needs, which is a tremendous change of where we've been historically. So for the American market, this is great news for us. We now have our own capacity on energy such that we don't have to import any more from the Middle East, and that's going to make the dollar stronger. Also makes us competitive to bring businesses in. We in Virginia just saw the largest investment ever by a Chinese company into America. We just won that in Virginia, $2 billion investment. And one of the main reasons is our low energy costs.
Terry, one final question before we let you go. And all of the countries around have been discussing, speculating on when the U.S. Fed rate hike could happen, and December perhaps seems like a very possible date right now.
And I do think, I think the Fed clearly has signaled that it is time for a rate increase. There has been some dissension inside the Fed about when to do it, but we had a very strong month last month on job growth, much bigger than many of the analysts had predicted. And I think that will probably be the final movement that the Fed is now probably going to raise it 250 basis points. But I do think you'll begin finally to see the rates begin to creep up obviously to control the economy, to make sure that we're continuing to grow, but to make sure we're doing it in a sensible way. So I think it's pretty clear that the Fed is going to move very quickly to raise rates.
Well, that really seems the case, doesn't it? Terry, thank you so much for joining us, and hope you have a very good, positive meetings in India and Middle East there. But with that, let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the currency space, where the rupee has had a good trading day today, taking support from rebound in domestic equities and decline in the US dollar.